Welcome to BSc Statistics students. In this class, I explain link relative method. This is also one such method to obtain seasonal variations in a time series data. This for time series in the time series analysis to obtain seasonal variations. We have discussed various methods, ratio to trend method, ratio to moving averages, etc. Now link relative method. This is one such method to obtain the seasonal variations. Quickly look at the procedure. First of all, convert the given data into link relatives by expressing the value of one season or 1 month or a quarter as a percentage of value of preceding season. Denote a link relative by LR. The LR of the current season is nothing but current season figure divided by previous season figure into 100. 100. That is what first we have to find out LR, link relatives of current of every particular season. You see, now average the link relative for each season by using either arithmetic mean or median. You have to calculate averages and then convert the average link relative LR into chain relatives called CR. Chain relatives called CR for all the seasons by using the following formula. By using the formula, for first chain relative is going to be considered as 100. For first season, CR is going to be considered as 100. The CR of current season is nothing but then remaining for remaining seasons. The CR of the current season is going to be calculated by average LR of current season multiplied by CR of preceding season divided by 100. This is not preceding season, previous one, preceding season, right? Now by using the chain relative of last season, obtain a new chain relatives for the first season, because we have considered the first chain relative is 100. That is, we are changing now. By using the chain relative of last season, obtain the new chain relative of, that is CR of the first season. That is, new CR of first season is going to be calculated by average LR of first season into CR of last season divided by 100. This is what you have to make the change. Right, and then to adjust the chain relatives. Now what you have to calculate? Adjusted chain relatives you have to calculate. To adjust the chain relatives, subtract a correction factor, or it is also called adjustment factor, called D. So D is nothing but correction factor or adjustment factor. Subtract D from the chain relatives, CRs. The formula of D for monthly data, it is D is equal to 1 by 12 into new CR of first season minus 100. That is, we have to consider new CR of the first month or first quarter. Here first month minus 100. And by assuming linear trend, the correction factors for the seasons February, March and so on December, which are to be subtracted, D, 2D and so on 11D respectively. I show the formula. And D for the quarterly data, it is going to be considered as D is equivalent to be 1 by 4 into new CR of first season, that is first quarter minus 100. Hope you understand. 1 by 4 of new CR of first season, that is first quarter of minus 100. That is for quarterly data. For monthly data, D is equal to 1 by 12 into new CR of first month, that is first season, first month minus 100. Now you see how to adjust the factors, adjust the CRs with this correction factor. You see, this is what the procedure. Now what you have to do is assuming the linear trend. Now for monthly data, first of all, you see adjusted CR of first season, that is January, is going to be calculated by CR of the first season, and adjusted CR of second season, that is second month February, it is nothing but CR of second month February minus D Adjusted CR of third season, March, is CR of the March minus 2D, and so on. CR of last season, that is December, the CR of last season minus 11D. It is for monthly exclusively. These are the formulas for monthly data. Now for quarterly data, adjusted chain relatives. For quarterly data, adjusted CR of first season, first quarter is CR of first quarter. Adjusted CR of second quarter is nothing but CR of second quarter minus D. Adjusted CR of third quarter, third season, is CR of third season or third quarter minus 2D. Adjusted CR of last season, that is CR of last season, last quarter minus 3D. You have to subtract D, 2D, 3D respectively. Here also D, 2D and so on 11D. In the monthly data, what you have to do is D, 2D. We have to subtract D, 2D and so on 11D except the first one. Here also except the first one, first quarter, leave it as it is. We have calculated second time. Now we are calculating, we have to subtract D, 2D and 3D. After that, last at the final, what you have to do is after the chain relatives, these are all adjusted CRs, adjusted chain relatives. Now finally we have to calculate seasonal index numbers are to be obtained by multiplying the adjusted chain relatives with a correction factor. What is the correction factor? K is equal to 1200 by total of adjusted CRs for monthly data, or K is equal to 400 by total of adjusted CRs for quarterly data. This is what the methodology for monthly data and quarterly data. You have to multiply with K with the adjusted CRs, you will get the seasonal index numbers. The another method is for adjusted, that is to calculate the seasonal index numbers. What you have to calculate is adjusted chain relatives divided by the that is average divided by average multiplied by 100. Adjusted chain relative divided by average of the adjusted CRs multiplied by 100. That is another formula which can be applied. Either multiplying with K or applying the formula what I explained now. Now I show a particular problem so that you can understand very easily, right? This is what the data is given for calculating obtained seasonal index numbers to the following data by using link relative method. So quarterly data is given for 1, 2, 3, 4 years and 4 quarters, which are the data is given here. Now what you have to do is, first of all, you have to calculate link relatives for quarters. That you see here, that is what the table here. In the first table and that first particular part is going to be explained the link relatives. You see, you write the data in this particular form year 2002, 3, 4, 5 and quarters 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. Take the data for first figure, leave it because the formula is current season figure divided by previous season figure multiplied by 100. That is what you have to calculate. That is for 75. You see the data here, for 75 for first quarter 75. Previous figure is not available, therefore first one for first season link relative LR is not available. That is one of the disadvantages of this particular method. Okay, right? And for second season onwards, 60 by current figure 60 divided by 75 into 100. Are you able to follow? Current season figure is 60 divided by 75 into 100. That is the formula of LR, link relatives. So 54 by 60 into 100. Similarly, 59 by 54 into 100. 86 divided by 59 into 100. Like that you calculate for all quarters in all years. For all quarters, calculate LR. Is it clear now? Thereafter, you have to calculate total of LR. That is 1, 2, 3. Add these 3. Except this remaining all quarters, you will have a four figures, 4 LRs, 1 2 3 4, add it. This one also similarly, all for all quarters, that is for all seasons, add LRs, you will get total, and divided by, you see here, average LR, which means here for first quarter 1 2 3 divided by 3, you will get this. Here 1 2 3 4, that is 313.58 divided by 4, you should get, you will get this. So similarly, this is also 4 divided by 4, this is also 4 divided by 4, you will get average LR, next column. And then chain relatives, for chain relatives, for first one is going to be considered as 100, and then for the second quarter onwards, you have to consider the current, that is the current period or current season, LR, average LR. LR means always you consider as average LR, 78.395, okay, multiplied by previous year CR, previous figure, previous quarter, not year, previous quarter, previous season, CR in divided by 100. Okay, similarly, you see here, you can understand now. For the third quarter, third season, current year, current season, current quarter, current season, LR, that is 92.725, and previous CR, that is 78.395 divided by 100. That is the formula for chain relative CR. This is also going to be expressed as CR. So now you see, I'll tell you the fourth one as well. If you want to calculate the CR for fourth quarter, current quarter, current season, LR, that is 123.55, and previous quarter CR, that is 72.692 divided by 100, you will get. So these are the values of CR, but except the first one is taken as 100, that is to be calculated again, that is adjusted chain relatives. The adjusted chain relatives which are going to be calculated by taking the formula. I'll tell you the formula, which is, I show you the formula. Here you have the new CR of the first season. It is average LR of the first season multiplied by CR of last season. Average LR of first season. What is average LR of first season? 125 multiplied by CR of the last season, that is 123 point CR, average CR of last season 89.811 divided by 100, you will get some particular value as 100. CR of last season, CR of last season is 80.409. These are multiplied by, divided by 100, you will get, this is the adjusted chain relatives. And now remaining values are going to be calculated by minus D, minus 2D, minus 3D. Except this, remaining all are to be adjusted with minus D, minus 2D, minus 3D. What is D? I show you the calculation of D. D is going to be calculated by, D is equal to 1 by 4 into new CR of first quarter, that is 112.536 minus 100. You see, this is 112. This is not 100. 112 point, I write here, 112.536. This is adjusted one, not 100. Okay. This is what? It is nothing but is going to be calculated by current, that is average CLR of the first quarter, that is 125. This one, adjusted CR of the first quarter or first season is nothing but you have to consider LR of the current season, that is first season, that is 125 multiplied by LR of the last CR of the last season, LR of the first season multiplied by CR of the last season. CR of the last season is 89.811. That is, you have to multiply these two and divided by 100, you will get 112. and this is going to be used in the calculation of D. What is D again? I show you again the new adjusted factor, that is now the adjustment factor. Adjustment factor is D is equal to 1 by 4 into new CR of the first quarter. Is it visible? No, yeah, just I wait. Yeah. Adjustment factor, now we calculate D is equal to 1 by 4 of new CR of first quarter minus 100. What is new CR of first quarter? It was calculated as 112.536 and minus 100. You see, that is minus 100 divided by, that is 1 by 4, which means 1 by 4 into 112.536 minus 100 divided by 4. This is what you have to calculate D. D is equal to 3.134. Now, except for first quarter, for remaining all the quarters, you have to subtract D, 2D, 3D. For second quarter, D. For third quarter, you have to subtract 2D. For fourth quarter, you have to subtract 3D. The first quarter is this. Already we have calculated 112.536, this one, for first quarter, adjusted CR. So, like this, we have to calculate adjusted CR. So, these are the values we have calculated. Again, I am showing in the table that there is first one. Already we have calculated adjusted CR for first quarter, and then for second quarter onwards 78.395 minus D 3.134 and 72.692 minus 2D 2 into 3.134, and for fourth quarter 89.811 minus 3 into D 3D 3 into 3.134. You will get respective values are nothing but adjusted CRs, adjusted chain relatives. And now you have to calculate at the end, last column, seasonal index numbers. These are the seasonal index numbers. How to calculate? For which you have to calculate, we have to calculate average for all the adjusted chain relatives. That is adjusted chain relatives. We have to calculate average. After calculating the average, there is a plus and divided by 4. This is not 100, this is 112.536. And you have to add all adjusted CRs. You see here, I show the values. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. All these adjusted CRs you have to add and divided by 4, you will get the average. So, average of adjusted CR is nothing but 80.523. All the values divided, add all the values divided by 4, you will get average 80.523. And then the seasonal index numbers is going to be calculated by, that is I am using another formula, adjusted chain relatives divided by 80.523, that is average of adjusted CRs. This is nothing but average of adjusted CR, average of adjusted CR, adjusted CRs is nothing but 80.523 multiplied by 100. We will get the seasonal index number. That is, I show you again in the table. These are all the values in the table for first quarter. Do you see here? This is the result of the first quarter. For first quarter, the last column, you see the last column, this is going to be calculated by adjusted CR. That is 112.536 divided by 80.523. The average multiplied by 100, you will get this. Similarly, adjusted CR of second quarter 75.261 divided by average, it is 80.523 divided by into 100. You will get this. Third quarter 66.424, that is adjusted CR of third quarter divided by average adjusted CR, that is 80.523 into 100. Similarly, the last one. So, these are the final values of seasonal index numbers. The seasonal index numbers for first 4 quarters are 1, 2, 3, 4, in which the sales is good in the first quarter, okay, and but sales is more. Or for example, you consider, what I mean to say, for example, you consider the sales or profits of a particular company or of a particular businessman or entrepreneur, then this is in the first season, their sales or average production or some particular profits of the company in the first season will be more 125%, 24%. 24% will be increased in every season. The sales will be more or profits will be more. 24% of the profits will be more in a very particular first season. That is what they have to concentrate on this particular season. In the first season, they have to concentrate more rather than remaining quarters. That is what the conclusion from this particular method of calculating the seasonal index numbers. So therefore, this is a link relative method of calculating seasonal index numbers. Thank you so much.